So I bet most people watching this wouldn't know the difference between advertising and marketing.
Yes.
So can you explain what that difference is?
Advertising's only a component of marketing, and marketing has many facets, whether it's a digital database, whether it's an agent proactively phoning people about your property, etc. Whereas advertising, agents will say, I'm going to run a marketing campaign on your home, can I have $10,000 and I'm going to advertise it in these places. If that incoming inquiry, for example, is not dealt with appropriately, the marketing is falling down even though the advertising succeeded.
I would rather show them how a digital campaign can work for them before they start spending thousands of dollars to go in the paper that the buyers might not necessarily read.
Digital
Yes.
is where it's at. That's what
Yes.
you rely on.
Yes.
Just how important is the internet, and is it only going to grow, or has it reached the capacity to what it can do, really?
I think the internet, that's a great question. I think the internet has peaked as far as what it can do for a seller's campaign. And what agents are now doing is starting to sell real estate off market using their database exclusively, because the agents are strapped into contracts with these media providers which are draconian and, quite frankly, unprofitable source of marketing properties for agents.
So what's the best way to do a successful online marketing campaign?
I think preparation's key, first of all. You've got to make sure that everything's done in a professional manner, because when you do launch online, the majority of your buyers are going to see that and make a judgment while they're scrolling through their iPad. So the presentation of the home, the styling, the photography's got to be all right. You've got to have everything just so. And I personally take a lot of time with our admin and marketing team to make sure before we launch a property that it's looking 100%, because the smallest thing can put a buyer off and they'll scroll through to the next property, and that could have been your best buyers.
I guess you've got to move a lot faster these days, don't you?
And buyers do. I think in order to buy a property in this current market, most of the buyers have been through the ringer a bit. So they've bid on auctions and been unsuccessful, and they've been at it for a number of months. So when they see something they like, they're very decisive. They're on the phone straight away, they're pushing for an appointment, and I'll often, you listen for a sigh. And what I mean by that is you'll start talking to a buyer, and when they go, look, we just want to, you know, they're over it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the people.
You've heard that a few times?
Yeah, plenty of times in this market. So they're the people that, you know, are the next who are ready to do what they need to do to secure a property.
Once you've got a certain amount of inquiries on a property, by continuing to spend money on advertising is simply a case of diminishing returns. So in most of our campaigns in this buoyant environment, we've been receiving up to 200 inquiries, in some cases 250 inquiries per property on a $2,500, $3,500 marketing campaign. That's not to suggest that we will get 600 inquiries if we spend $5,000 or $6,000 on advertising.